And joining us to speak more on Nigeria's COVID-19 cases and the figures is the National Incident Manager of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Dr. Mukhtar Mohammed. You're welcome to NT News 24.
Thank you. Good evening.
Now, Friday's daily figures seem to be the highest the country has ever recorded, at 2,314 infections. What could be responsible for this rise?
Well, certainly the numbers, as we have noted in the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks now, the numbers have continued to increase geometrically. Friday's number, yesterday's number, actually is the highest that has now been reported. Now, why are we having these numbers? Largely, Nigerians are not complying to non-pharmaceutical interventions. People continue to have gatherings. People do not care to wear face masks in public places, and therefore we continue to make the infection to go around in many places. We cannot halt this infection unless everybody takes a responsibility. We have to wear our masks, we have to wash our hands as much as possible, and we have to reduce gatherings and ensure that we have social distancing whenever we meet.
Having said this, the Ministry of Education says COVID-19 tests are not compulsory for students and parents resuming for the new academic session. What is your take on this?
So the issue of school reopening is something that really the PTF has discussed very extensively. The Minister of Education decided to open the schools, although from our own understanding, based on the explanation also, it was the states that actually wanted to have the schools reopened. Now, the PTF is watching this very closely. We are monitoring what is going on. And if we find out that cases continue to rise in the country, or we start to have incidences in schools, certainly we'll have the schools closed. In the first instance, we should have delayed opening of the schools. But now that the schools are opened, the PTF will continue to monitor very closely. We have asked all the schools to ensure that they institute measures and make sure that people follow the protocol as much as possible.
What's more, do you think Nigerians should know about the COVID-19 vaccines, and what is the latest on government's efforts to acquire them?
Before we go to the vaccines, let me just bring it to the point, to attention of Nigerians, that in the next coming days, the PTF is going to take the issue of non-compliance very seriously. We are going to have measures, we are going to have task forces in place, and we'll ensure that there is enforcement, because it is the responsibility of government to make sure that we reduce this infection to the barest minimum. Now, the issue of vaccine, government is actually in discussion with a lot of stakeholders, and we are making adequate preparation to ensure that when these vaccines arrive, we are able to move them around the country, and we are also able to deliver them where they are needed.
Is there any other words for Nigerians, especially those who are still believing that COVID-19 does not exist?
Well, I think by now, people should have known, everyone should have known someone who had contracted the disease, or you would have known someone who died from the disease, or you would have read in the news some of the prominent people that Nigeria has lost due to COVID-19. So we will be deceiving ourselves, or we'll be living in denial to say that COVID-19 does not exist. What needs to happen is that we will continue to mount on campaigns and sensitization across the country. Right now, we are engaging the state governments, and we are going to have testing centers in every local government. We are going to intensify our testing efforts, because we need to isolate people who are positive so that we can curtail the transmission. And those that are positive will be taken to isolation, and those that are negative, will encourage them, and will ensure that people continue to abide by the protocol. That is to have your face mask in place, and also have social distancing, and also avoid overcrowding.
Dr. Mukhtar Mohammed, well, thank you for coming on NT News 24.
Thank you.